Hey guys, Kelly here. Welcome back to Tusk Armour. Today we're going to be doing a shooting demonstration on our Tusk Armour coating. We're going to do a demonstration for you. I think we're going to shoot like 5 rounds of 308, 5 rounds of 5.56, maybe more, 5 rounds of 7.62 by 39 out of the AK. And we'll do some 9. We'll throw that in there. So just want to highlight this real quick. I know you've seen this before on the other video. That's the back, obviously. Here's the front. So we're going to throw it actually in a plate carrier. We have a plate carrier down here. We are going to demonstrate what exactly happens, as you can see here, what exactly happens when a bullet strikes the plate. Now what we've been able to capture here is the actual rounds, and so this is, if the coating wasn't on here, this is what would be happening. You can see how each one is somewhat unique in its own. The way that the bullet strikes, it depends on the angle, and you could see how it would be traveling. I'm going to slowly move this here so you could see if it would hit. It creates like a cone-like pattern. So it creates like a pattern that looks like this, okay? When the bullet strikes and it goes outward. What happens with our compound, our Tusk Armour coating, is an exothermic reaction. When it hits the steel and it starts to disintegrate, it gets super hot, and our coating is able to capture that. And if you can see here, you can see how it's just about at the surface, all these little pieces. See that? Okay, so now there is one caveat. We've been able to defeat NIJ level. Before I say defeat, NIJ level says you have to be 49 feet 15 meters in order to test armor. But what we do is we kind of pushed it a little bit further. We shoot it, when we were doing our endurance test on our coating, we backed it out to 50 yards because we were destroying the steel long before the coating would go. But when we test for penetration, we do it at like 20 feet. We try to replicate. We get questions constantly. Well, what if I were to be defending my house? I'm in my garage. I'm in my home, in a living room, dining room, and there those spaces are a lot shorter distance. We're talking like 20 feet. 50 feet would be like 15 meters, or I should. It's 49 feet. But anyways, you're looking at 50 foot. So people are like, well, what? Officers have asked me, what happens if I go into active shooter situation? I'm in a warehouse, in an office building. I encounter someone at close distance. So that's why we started testing, and we will test this at 20 feet. I'm going to show you to show exactly what this coating does. Now, if you look at some of the other offerings that are out there for the coating, it will not. We've seen 3 or 4 rounds. In fact, you can go online and look it up on yourself on YouTube. After 3 or 4 rounds, this coating is separated. And I know that they'll vehemently deny it's not truck bed lining, and I get it, it's probably not, but it's made by the same companies, and I don't know, maybe they change a molecule here or there, and so they can call it something new. But that is what happens. It separates. It absolutely separates. I've seen videos where the entire piece comes off, and it looks like you just shaved it off. You're not going to get that with this. It's not going to happen. I'll show you. The one caveat, and we've defeated all of 308, not all of them, but we've defeated XM80, and a couple different other rounds. Some of them were made by Hornady, some 165 GMX, some of those super performance ammo. We've defeated XM855, that's the green tip, which everybody else is. That's nothing unusual. That's nothing unique. Steel core body armor is supposed to defeat that. What we haven't been able to stop, and no one else can either, is the very, very fast XM193. And when I mean fast, I'm talking like 3,400 feet per second fast. We're talking like Independence Armour, this stuff. So you'll see on websites, you'll see them saying, oh, this will defeat XM193 because this is level 3+. Well, there is no true meaning to level 3+. The only people who throw that term around are the people who produce it. It's very misleading because you'll see a little caveat on some of these websites. Well, it defeats XM193, but you can't go over 3,200 feet per second. Well, I got news for you. This already does go faster than that. So this is the one round that we have found that will consistently penetrate our armor. So instead of increasing the hardness of the armor and making terms like a level 3+, we decided to work with the nature of this steel, and we created a trauma pad that also has aramid fibers in it. And this trauma pad will go up inside the backside, go up in your plate carrier, and it'll mount behind here. So it acts as a trauma pad, but it also can capture the spalling. And I'll show you, we call it the Spall Blocker, and I'll show you exactly what's going on. So come back in here, take a look. You have these rounds coming through, and we'll flip this over, and these are absolute penetrations. You can see daylight through some of these. See what we have here? So what we found, we're just gonna pull, like, take for instance this one. Let's see if we can find a good clear one. Okay, see this one here? I know I'm flipping fast. See how that stopped? The round was stopped, but the energy left behind punched a hole through it. So what we're finding is the actual bullet, I have a collection of these, I just brought some in with me. The actual bullet, we have proven that the bullet is not going through it, but what's happening is it's punching a hole through the steel, a 22 caliber slug. So here is the side that got hit. You can see where the bullet hits. See right here? And then the energy that's left over punches this steel right through. Boom. I'm gonna drop one here. Here's another one. You can see where it's caved in. Okay, and here's the back side of the plate. So what happens is this steel, the steel from this plate, you can see it, actually gets hit from the front and gets knocked out and punches straight through there. So if you keep increasing the hardness of the steel, what you'll end up doing is cracking the whole plate. Like that's why like AR 680, things like that. What we're using, by the way, is mil-spec 46100A steel. I don't use AR plate. I use AR plate for my targets that I make, but not for the armor. So what we're finding is we can capture it in here, and we're going to shoot this today. That'll be our third video, and we're going to shoot this Independence armor. So first thing we're going to do is shoot our vest. We have a Condor vest, and we're going to shoot our AR-10 and our AK-47 and AR-15, and then we're going to save the last 10 rounds for the Independence, and that we're going to put our trauma pad behind there. And I'll just show you what happens. Like if you, I just want to demonstrate. Like this is right here. I'm gonna let the light come through. Do you see right here? This is an edge shot. This is like a ½ inch from the edge. Okay. Do you see how that's all captured in there? If this was the competition's, I'll move around. If this was the competition's, this would have blown out this whole area. That would be way too close for the lining, whether it's rhino lining or what's the other one, Linex, the Linex compound, to hold at that close of an edge. That's way too much, and that's what we were achieving, like an edge shot right there, no penetration. You see that bottom there? No penetration. And what will happen is if you were to shoot it with the competitors, okay, so you get an edge shot, you see right there, it blows out. It blows out. See out the bottom there? And that's a good idea of what happens. So that spalling would have blown out. If you're sitting or standing, you know, that's going to affect you somehow. That's, you know, that can hit you. That can hit your abdomen. So, all right. We're going to go over to the next video. That's a demonstration of what we're doing today. A little background of what we have here. And all right.